This is TWiT.
We all know that I frequently find fault, tremendous fault, actually, with the apparently, from all outwardly observable evidence, this cavalier attitude that Cisco has always had towards security. And we all know that change is difficult, and I get it, that Cisco, being an early and like the early pioneering commercial network equipment supplier, was building routers way before security was even appreciated as an issue. You know, as we know, the original internet had no security. It was just amazing enough that it worked. And as I've noted earlier, Cisco's original routers were running a large collection of often unneeded services by default. They just had all this stuff turned on because, woo, it was cool. And since those routers, Cisco's routers, treat all of their network interfaces equally, they're just numbered. There's no concept of a LAN or a WAN. The only way you imbue that onto an interface is the IPs and network range you give it, the declaration of it as a gateway, and the other characterizing that you do for the interface. So as a consequence, all of those often unnecessary services were bound to and available on all of the router's interfaces. I mean, it's the definition of insane lack of security. And Cisco only slowly and with what seeming reluctance has begun to change the behavior of at least not running all of those services by default. Instead of saying, explicitly having to say, no HTTP service to turn it in the config file to turn it off, now you have to say HTTP service in order to turn it on. So there have been improvements, but I mean, they've just been inadequate, as evidenced by the fact that huge numbers of Cisco routers are being commandeered and penetrated when some random fault is discovered in the authentication of them, and they're wide open to the internet. So we're back here today because of a short blurb that I read, which caught my eye. The blurb was titled "Cisco's Resilient Infrastructure." And I thought, well, okay, what's that? The short little thing said, Cisco has announced Resilient Infrastructure, a project modeled after Microsoft's Secure Future Initiative program that aims to improve the security of its products. Okay, maybe. This includes, this thing said, increasing default protections, removing legacy insecure features, and introducing advanced security capabilities which reduce the attack surface and enable better detection and response. Okay, that's all the right words. Never before have I been hoping that somebody in a position of authority inside Cisco may have gotten wind of my own thoughts about the problems with their approach to security. Hopefully these are widespread. So, okay. So anyway, I went looking then for what had triggered that short announcement, capture in their executive platform section, Cisco's executive platform section. I found the article titled "Doubling Down on Resilient Infrastructure." This was posted under the name of Anthony Grieco, a Cisco Senior Vice President and Chief Security and Trust Officer. So the title's right. The posting says, global networks have faced relentless attacks for years, with recent and dramatic increases in sophistication, scale, and speed. The current dynamic requires urgent change. Organizations must assess their current risk posture and use technology vendors' guidance and tools to securely implement, maintain, and operate their networks. We recognize that the vast amount of information across products and services from different vendors can create insurmountable complexity for customers attempting to secure their infrastructure. To that end, we are simplifying our offerings so that secure configurations, protocols, and features are the default. We are proactively alerting network administrators when insecure choices are being made and deprecating legacy methods that have served as operational mainstays for over 2 decades, all to create a more secure, resilient, and modern network. Okay, please. I could not have better expressed what they need to do. They get more specific. Anthony continues. At Cisco, we've spent years making technology that allowed our customers the ultimate flexibility in how to configure and deploy networks. I would agree. We also have a long history of constant improvement in the design of our portfolio to be secure and resilient to evolving threats, remaining trustworthy and transparent throughout its life cycle, and equipping our customers with the tools and information they need to manage risk. This technology is useless if it is not deployed securely. Okay. Running global networks is complex, he writes. While experts once thrived in this environment, this is interesting. While experts once running global networks is complex. While experts once thrived in this environment, today's landscape has turned past complexity into vulnerability. Network infrastructure that was designed, built, and deployed in decades past did not anticipate today's hostile security environment. Again, it sounds like a digest of the podcast. This is further amplified by the fact that many organizations have not updated and maintained their network infrastructure, missing opportunities to fix known vulnerabilities and update configurations based on the latest security best practices. 100% there, Anthony. A new Cisco Commission report found that 48% of network assets worldwide are now aging or obsolete, creating significant technical debt that diverts budgets toward maintenance rather than modernization. It is the equivalent of a city relying on a rusted, cracked bridge for all its traffic. As dependence on global networks grows, failing to break the current cycle of escalating threats could have a significant impact on our ability to trust future digital systems. Amen. We believe it is the responsibility of all trustworthy vendors, including Cisco, to inform customers when the use of certain technology, we believe, I'm going to repeat that, it is the responsibility of all trustworthy vendors, including Cisco, to inform customers when the use of certain technology may expose them to potential risks. This is all new. This is why we are doubling down on the model where security is the default and any reduction in security requires an explicit choice. Wow. Okay, this sounds wonderful. And as we've discussed, it is exactly the way to do it. He said it moves our customers from facing unexpected risks to managing known and deliberate ones. In some cases, we will completely remove the ability to do things insecurely, regardless of choice. Wow. This is Cisco's senior VP, Chief Security and Trust Officer talking. I just hope it happens. He said, today, we are announcing the next step in our security evolution focused on reducing the attack surface in our portfolio, increasing protection of sensitive data and enabling the defender with more robust capabilities to monitor and detect threats in network infrastructure. It's like they've awoken to security, which, while late, is, certainly welcome. He said resilient infrastructure is a Cisco effort to strengthen network security by increasing default protections, removing legacy insecure features, and introducing advanced security capabilities which reduce the attack surface and enable better detection and response. Simply put, we are making it incredibly obvious. Yeah, he actually said incredibly obvious when our customers are configuring insecure features that introduce new and unnecessary risks into their networks. Oh, please be true. He said initially, customers will receive increased security warnings that recommend discontinuing the use of any insecure features. In subsequent releases, features will be disabled by default or require additional steps to allow for configuration. Eventually, insecure options will be removed entirely.
Woohoo!
God, it's Christmas for security.
What are you going to talk about?
Most importantly, he said, we are furthering our commitment to our customers and the industry to provide visibility in areas where customers and large network providers are exposed to risk. We encourage all technology vendors to adopt the same approach to transparency. Historically, network infrastructure has not received the same level of monitoring and scrutiny as other parts of the IT infrastructure. He said, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. That is no longer the case.
Good.
We want to emphasize the importance of and make it even easier to perform effective monitoring, detection, and response within network infrastructure when, not if, vulnerabilities and attacks manifest. Addressing newly discovered vulnerabilities often requires patching or updating systems, which can create operational disruptions and cause unwanted downtime. Instead of waiting for a patch or scheduling emergency upgrades, we will be designing features to deploy targeted real-time shields that protect against specific vulnerabilities soon after they are identified. What? Did everybody hear that? He just said, instead of waiting for a patch or scheduling emergency upgrades, we, Cisco, will be designing features to deploy targeted real-time shields that protect against specific vulnerabilities soon after they're identified.
Shocking.
This method allows teams to mitigate potential risks immediately without the need to interrupt operations or perform unplanned maintenance. It means faster responses to threats, fewer operational headaches, and a more resilient network. So critical services stay online even as the threat landscape evolves. Okay, I'm just speechless now, except to say, thank you, Cisco. He said, he finishes, we know security and trust in technology will look different in 2040 as it did 15 years ago. Meaning 15 years from now is 2040, 15 years ago, we know about that. He said, as we evolve the network to be secure today, we must prepare for the future. It is crucial we get this right. The network is the foundational infrastructure that powers every aspect of our lives, enabling technologies like artificial intelligence. We rely on the network to protect our most sensitive data, but quantum computing is poised to upend today's modern encryption algorithms. Therefore, The network must evolve to support post-quantum cryptography and must be secure by default. This is not simply a switch to be flipped in the next decade as AI becomes the norm and quantum computing inches towards mainstream adoption. Those that do not act now will unfortunately be doing so at their own peril. I wonder if this guy just got hired. I don't know what. How do you explain this? No measure, he writes, can guarantee perfect security, but as the threat landscape evolves, so will our security practices. To put that promise into action, we will continue to invest in innovation to help our customers effectively manage risk, overcome threats, and work to earn and maintain their trust. We remain committed to raising the bar, giving defenders the tools they need to operate, detect, and respond securely, and doing so with trust, transparency, and accountability. We urge all network operators to act now to comprehend and mitigate infrastructure risk. Actively protect your organization by keeping systems up to date, using secure configurations, and planning for device lifecycle management. Now is the time. As an industry, we must raise the collective bar for securing our global infrastructure. Join us as we collectively move toward a more resilient future. Okay,
Wow.
now, I fully understand that it's one thing to say it and another thing to get it done. But after reading this, I'm not feeling at all cynical. This writing evidences an absolutely perfect grasp of the problem, which no one inside Cisco has ever shown with their, but didn't you read our optional device hardening guide? What? The huge sea change evident here is that Cisco is, for the first time ever, actually taking full and direct responsibility for the in the field deployed operational security of their products. That is a switch from read our optional device hardening guide to we no longer publish a device hardening guide because we built it all into our systems from the start. I couldn't possibly ask for anything more from them. And I hope that what they do, that the approach they take will be seen and emulated by every other similar network equipment and services company. It's 2025, almost 2026, and network security is no longer a buzz phrase that's given some lip service. Network security has become at least as important as performance, perhaps even more so. So it's significant that anyone deploying any of this next generation, new security first Cisco gear, they will themselves directly experience Cisco's then demonstrated commitment to their network security, their company's network security. So it occurs to me that in this era where now network security is truly important, experiencing Cisco's commitment when you're configuring their equipment and you're getting dialogue saying, I don't think you want to do that. That's got to be a sales promoting feature. So, feeling that Cisco has your back and is demonstrating that fact during device setup, that's got to be good for Cisco sales and for their reputation. Well, so what I think this means is that what Cisco is now doing is just good business. The world has evolved to the point where device security trumps its features. I'm so happy. The world has just received an early Christmas present. Yes, deployed gear will stay out there, but it's going to die over time. It's going to need to be replaced. Cisco is saying the replacement gear is going to have features unlike any of our previous approaches. And when those devices are updated with a new version of iOS, it's going to take a whole different approach. So bravo, Cisco. Wow.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed these little highlights from our shows. We do a bunch of them, and they're all available on the web at twit.tv or right here on YouTube. You can even watch most of them live on YouTube. I'll tell you what, you'll see a link below, and if you would like, and I would like it, like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.